Russian President Vladimir Putin is on a quick one-day official visit to Israel. It's Putin's second trip. He first visited the Jewish state back in 2005. The Russian leader made his first stop in the coastal city of Netanya to inaugurate a memorial to the soldiers of the Red Army who died during World War II.
The government of Israel felt, this is an initiative from the government of Israel, the government of Israel felt that the Red Army never really received the recognition it deserved. We see a lot of pictures and images of the American army walking into death camps and releasing the Jews that survived, but we never really recognized the Red Army's contribution, huge contribution, to the victory over the Nazis and the release of Auschwitz and many other death camps.
Designed by the Russian sculptor Salvant Sherbahkov, the two-part memorial follows a traditional Jewish motif of moving from darkness to light. Disturbing images of the pain and destruction of the war and the Holocaust line the dark walls of the first part of the memorial. But close by, two soaring white wing-like sculptures perched over the ocean are meant to represent hope. Speaking at the inauguration, President Shimon Peres said Israel owes a deep debt of gratitude to the Russian army for its decisive role in the triumph over the Nazis. If not for their bravery, he said, there's no certainty we would all be standing here today. Peres said he was convinced that Russia, which fought fascism, would not tolerate threats from Iran or bloodshed in Syria. Many expect Israeli leaders to ask Putin to take a tougher stand on stopping Iran's nuclear program. Putin said the memorial made a strong emotional impression on him and that it represented the immortal heroism of the war generation. He praised the Red Army for putting an end to the atrocities of the Nazis and for saving from destruction not just the Jewish people, but other peoples. 500,000 Russian Jews fought in the Red Army. Some veterans who moved to Israel came to the inauguration, like 90-year-old Roman Yagel.
If it weren't for the Red Army, Europe would not be worth anything. There wouldn't be any Jews left, and maybe even no world left if the Nazis had won. That's why for those of us who were part of that great victory, this memorial is a very big deal for us and for the state of Israel.
Together, Putin and Peres placed a wreath for the fallen soldiers at the foot of the memorial, a solemn moment for both leaders.
It's very important for Israel that he's here, and it's very important for us that he supports us. You know that we are not in a wonderful time, let's say, today. You know what is going around in Syria and Egypt and all the other places, Iran.
With the changes that are taking place in our region, the Arab Spring, American forces being pulled out of Afghanistan and of Iraq, definitely, I mean, that vacuum will be filled, no doubt, by Russia. The Federation has great interest in this region.
Putin stayed away from the hot-button issues, saying nothing about Iran, Syria, or the peace process, where his policies diverged from that of Israeli leaders. This first stop in Netanya is what we could call the symbolic part of Putin's visit to Israel. Later today, the real political work will begin as he meets the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister, the head of the Israeli army, and holds more meetings with the Israeli president. There's still much that divide Russia and Israel, as much as the relationship seems to be getting stronger. Of course, the primary concern is how Israel and Russia can come together in solving the Iranian nuclear dispute. Jordana Miller, JN1, Netanya.